Hello, hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Welcome, everyone. I'm so grateful that you are here or you're watching this um, later. This is my first live, and so be very gracious to me, please. I'm trying to be very kind to myself too. I never did this before, so this is my first time doing this. And today we'll be talking about a subject that's very dear to my heart. And I'm very deeply, deeply passionate about it because I experienced it in my personal life. And honestly, I think every one of us is experiencing it, but we're not talking about it. Not enough, at least, in my opinion. And that is our relationship to ourselves. So, yes, today we'll be talking about self love. Sorry, there's some notes showing up here, so I want to make sure I know what they are. And they're popping up. So today we'll be talking about self love. And I don't necessarily, I'm referring to self love as you speaking positive affirmations. You are just telling yourself that everything it's perfect and it's nice. I'm talking about a deeper version of that. I'm talking about the ability to truly see yourself, to understand yourself completely, and the hardest part, to accept yourself fully, all the parts of you. And hopefully create a relationship in between you and you that's not based only on the judging, criticism, and always trying to prove your worth and that you are enough. Most of us in through our life, we are taught that you might have you, you might have been rewarded with love after you achieved, after you're good, after you matched the mold that they needed, or you matched the expectations that they had for you. So we learn very early how to achieve, how to perform, how to be flexible, how to fit ourselves in the boxes that we don't fit, how to play small, how to not express ourselves. And sometimes the hardest part to meet, to accept, is yourself. And the hardest part is receiving your own love to yourself. We're always, people will say, like, oh, you're great. And we're like, yes, absolutely, you receive it. But it's very hard to do so. And not for everyone, but if you're one of that person, one of those people, the easiest way to see it, if you go into a mirror and look straight at you into your eyes and deeply, deeply declare your love to yourself and see how you feel. There's a resistance appear. There's a judgment. Maybe he feels weird. And all of them are okay, but all of them are data. But they'll show you where you stand in the relationship with yourself. So this is where I am so excited to do this live calls every Wednesday to bring not just the awareness. I think awareness exists, but maybe to truly bring tools and to teach and to learn from you how to better understand ourselves, how to develop a better relationship with ourselves. How can we build that muscle? Because we work on every single other part of our life. We do that, we do this, we do that, we do everything. We work out on our muscles, we work out, we do skincare, we take supplements, but we don't work on the most important thing that runs our life. It's our self-love, our relationship to ourselves. So this is why, and I'm not sure if you saw the name, I am opening a self-love gym every Wednesday. Free, come in, to tune up your muscle, maybe to just to see where you're at, maybe to develop it, maybe to move into the next place, or maybe to maintain it. Whatever on that spectrum you of self-love you find yourself, you're welcome here. I meet you where you're at, and I will try to be the best host for you, to welcome you, to provide what you need, and hopefully you walk away and today and tomorrow is better than before. Does that sound good for everyone? Sounds good. Thank you so much. So let's do one thing. And I have some notes in how different levels of self love show up. But before that, let's start with the fun part. Before I tell you how those levels look like, so you don't overthink them, let's do a quiz. A quick quiz. You don't have to share the answers, it's just for you to figure out. So let's do the question number one. So this is created for the idea of a short reflection, just for you to realize where you are and in regards to self-love, to relationship with yourself, and maybe what shows up for you. So I'll invite you to take a deep breath in first. Let's get grounded. I know it's the middle of the day, so it's probably busy for some people. Maybe it's starting, or I guess it's middle of the day for me. Whatever you're watching, whatever part of the day. But if it's morning, you might have a whole day ahead of you. If it's at the end of the day, you might have all the worries of the day. So let's take a deep breath in. Exhale big. Soften your shoulders. Let's do it more time. And exhale and let the day fall away from you. And if you're standing or sitting, just feel yourself supported. If your feet are on the ground, just feel them on the ground. Feel your belly relax. Just feel arriving into your body. You're right here, right now. Nothing else it's needed. Meet yourself wherever you're at. And just to set this quiz, there are no right or wrong answers. And sometimes every time you answer the question, you might have a different answer, and that's okay. We fluctuate through the day. We fluctuate through the hours. We fluctuate through the where we find ourselves in different spaces. So the answers can be different. So trust yourself, whatever comes first. Okay. So let's do the question number one. You ready? Okay. And I know you cannot pause it, so I'll give you some time. So when you make a mistake or something doesn't go as planned, what is your first reaction? And I'll read them by A, B, and C, so you can just note A, B, or C, whatever sounds the most close and resonates with you. So let me read again the question, because I know I distracted you with, when you make a mistake or something doesn't go as planned, what is your first reaction? A, I immediately judge myself, blame myself, or feel like I should have done better. B, I notice that I'm being hard on myself and start questioning why I react this way. C, I can acknowledge the mistake without attacking myself and look at it as an opportunity to learn. I don't have music. I don't know how to put music out. It's me ding dong, but here's imagine music in between. Okay, is everyone ready for question number two? And number two is going to be, when you look at your life, your achievements, or your relationships, you choose whatever part you want to work the most, what feels most familiar? And I'll choose one of this because there are going to be different answers for different ones. Or you could put life, achievement, relationship, and the answer for each of them. That way you know where you stand for those. A, so let me read again. I know I got distracted myself too with explanation. When you look at your life, your achievements, or your relationships, what feels most familiar? A, I often feel like something is missing or that I need to become someone different to finally feel fulfilled. B, I'm starting to recognize patterns and understand that some of my struggles come from old beliefs or expectations. And C, I have a strong connection with myself and make choices based on who I truly am, not just other not just what other expect from me. Beautiful. Okay. If you're done with that, let's go to question 3. How do you respond when you receive criticism, rejection, or someone's disappointment? A, I take it personally, and it reinforces the belief that I am not enough. B, I feel triggered, but I'm becoming aware of why it's affecting me so deeply. And C, I can listen without losing myself and decide what is useful while staying connected to my own worth. We have 2 more questions, but before I go to that, I totally forgot to mention, because you're doing it for yourself, aim for true honesty, radical honesty. Change happens only when we truly are open to that, but also honest. Okay, number 4. How often do you compare yourself to others? A, often. I compare myself and feel behind, less successful, or like I should be farther along. B, I notice when comparison happens, I'm learning to understand what it reveals about my own desires or insecurities. And C, I can appreciate others' journey without using them as a measure of my own value. Okay. So you see, there's a theme for these questions. And number 5, the last question, is when you think about your future, what feels most true? A, I feel pressure to prove myself, fix myself, or finally become enough. And enough here is in the quotes. Because in this space of love, we don't believe in enough. We are already there. B, I feel like I'm in transition and exploring who I really want to become. And C, I feel connected to my vision I feel connected to my vision and I'm creating from confidence, self-trust, and alignment. So now you have your answers and you can see if they're mostly A, mostly B's, mostly C's, whatever you have the answer. And I'll give you some explanations for mostly A. So mostly A, and before I even jump, because obviously you'll look at that and we're talking about self-love, and if you find yourself that it's somewhere that you're not expecting yourself, I want to emphasize 1,000 times acceptance, no judgment. This is just information. Meet it with love, meet it with not with comparing, not with judgment, not to say, oh, I'm here so I need to be. Where you at, wherever you at, it's a perfect place to be and move forward from. So we I want to start and again open this beautiful space for love, because that's what we're going to learn here. So, and if you feel that first, that's okay too. Let it be the feeling of like, oh, you're not there, and then say, it's okay. I'm right where I need to be. So if you find yourself with mostly A, that you are mostly in the self-rejection phase. And I emphasize on meeting with love, that part. I've been in that phase for many, many years, over 40 years. And while it's not pleasant, it gave me lots of data, and I think it made me who I am now. So, what this means, self rejection phase. You may be living from a place where your inner voice is focused on fixing, on criticism, or proving yourself. You may have achieved a lot, but still feel like something inside it's not enough. This is the first step. I'm becoming this is a first level, and awareness, seeing that it is the most important movement forward that you can take, because awareness already shows you that you're moving into the direction you want to go. So let's talk a little bit about self-rejection. In a way, how does it shows up? How shows up in people's life, and then we'll go to the B's. So self-rejection shows up mostly. Your inner critic voice is very loud. And it doesn't always look like you hate yourself, because that's what people think. It's like, oh, you people that hate themselves. Not necessarily. You can be a very successful person. You can achieve a lot. You can be a very sweet and amazing person and know how to hold spaces for everyone else. But your inner talk, it's quite ugly, to be honest. So you're always feeling like you need to improve yourself before you can be happy. You always move the goalpost. No matter how many accomplishments you've done, you move them forward. Then you compare yourself to others. You feel successful, but it feels empty, right? So, question to you, just to reflect on this: would you speak to your best friend this way, the way that you speak with yourself, or if you have a family member that you're very open and close to, and you love them, would you speak to them this way? I think my landscaper coming in. Oh, that's gonna be noise, and I'm sorry if my dog barks too much. Probably not the best timing. They were supposed to be here in the morning, but I guess they decided to come this now. I hope you don't hear this. So let's go to mostly B. So mostly B, if you answer that, you're in a phase of self-awareness phase. So self-awareness, when you start seeing yourself differently, so you don't see yourself as a pattern. So if you do something wrong, you see that as a mistake, not defining you. You start questioning old beliefs. You become aware that you may have been operating this way, and some of those beliefs don't no longer serves you, but you not necessarily know how to move out of them from them. And this phase usually shows up when you are on the threshold in between old version of you and the new one. So and it is a fluid, right? It's a fluid. From you can move. Today you'll be more in self-rejection than in self-awareness, and then you keep moving back and forth, and you start learning the dance of that. So self-awareness, how will it look like? So self-awareness will look like, in a moment, as I said, in the moment that you stop completely identifying with your thoughts. So you ask yourself, why do I react this way? Why this triggers me? Is this something that it's my truth, or I inherited for somebody else? And I'm so sorry if you guys can hear this. This is quite fun to do that, but it's it is a place where self-awareness, it's beautiful to stay, but it's not where you're going to be forever, because you want to move into self-acceptance, and that is where the the biggest shifts are happening. But awareness is the most important phase, because when you step into that awareness step, you cannot go back. Okay, so let's talk about mostly C's. Whoever answered mostly C's, congratulations to you. Again, it's a fluid, so you can be sometimes in more in self-rejection some parts of the day. you can be in self-awareness parts of the day, and maybe and self-alignment parts of the day. So this is self-alignment phase, where you are moving from awareness to embody. So you are learning to make decisions from a self-trust and authenticity, and inner authority. It's getting stronger, and it overrides when the inner critic shows up or when the fear shows up. Well, we'll let this to go for a second, and then hopefully they go away from here. Um, so So let me know if you find this helpful, this quiz, and how you feel. Maybe what question surprised you. Maybe what answer to a question surprised you. Maybe you thought you were on a different level than you were. Maybe you thought you lower and you actually higher, or other way around. Right? It's let me know what you feel like about it. I'm really curious to know, because there's sometimes I feel like I'm somewhere, and then there's a question comes into my life, and if I reflect, I was like, wow, I really thought I'm already there, but I guess I'm not quite there because. And I'll give you an example. I thought I'm more and more self-accepting myself, and I'm in that phase. But then I realized that I do self-accept myself, but I put that feeling, or that, I guess, that relationship with myself in the future. I said, when I do this and this, then I will self accept myself. So this is slightly, it goes more a little bit in the self rejection than acceptance. But I was tricking myself, things like, oh no, I am definitely self accepting myself, but I put it somewhere in the future. So I realized I have to bring it back now. Self acceptance is truly to be here and now, and to accept yourself exactly the way you are, with no changes, with no healing, with no fixing. It's how you are right now. That is self love. That's what self love comes from. And I truly believe that our transformation doesn't come when we become somebody else. And sometimes we try to be somebody else and we think that's what's going to fit. But it comes in when we stop abandoning parts of us that we judge as a bad or shadows, and integrating them into our light. And that is the time when transformation happens. And that is why it doesn't matter what level you're at. Because at every level we can see what parts we reject, and we can bring self-love around them, and then slowly bring every single part of us till we are whole. And I want to thank you for being here, for your interest in the subject, and thank you for being open to just look at yourself and wanting to move into more self-love, and coming to my gym to work your self-love muscle. This is just the first. Um, this is just the first episode. And remember, self-love is not about becoming perfect. It is embracing fully who you are, because you already are beautiful and you are the light. And if we all shine our lights, the world becomes brighter. And thank you so much for being here. Go to my channel. I have a very new, young channel. Watch my videos. Hopefully, you enjoy them, you find them helpful. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you next Wednesday right here for another gym session for self love. I'll see you later. Bye.